What up, what up? Nerd Adjacent coming at you with another review, this time for Fantastic Four First Steps. Just came out of theater right now. And let's just say let me start up with the setup here. You know, the Fantastic Four, they're not a new team. It's been established. You know, they give a little what happened at the beginning of the movie. So this is like, I guess, 4 years into the career. They're having a 4-year for Fantastic Four celebration. So they're established in this world. This is like a retro-futuristic 1960s retro-futuristic look, which actually looks really cool. I like the look of it. But anyways, back to the story here. So they're having a celebration for them for Fantastic Four. You find out. I'm going to give very few spoilers here, if at all, if any. Actually, no, there is going to be some spoilers. This is a small one, but it's not really a spoiler because it was already in the previews. You know, Sue Richards is pregnant. So here we got the setup. She's pregnant. They find out. You know, everyone's happy. We have this anomaly coming from space, and they go to check it out. They find out it's a Silver Surfer telling them she's the Herald of Galactus and that he's on his way to consume the world. And from there, we get Fantastic Four fly out to find out what's going on. I'm not going to give out any more spoiler details, but you know, things happen. They get back to Earth. Galactus comes to Earth and they do their thing. So anyways, that's a setup there for the movie. Like I said, very little spoilers. But anyways, back to the movie. The aesthetic is actually really, really cool. I like this look of that retro-futuristic 60s look. It looks really good. It looks cool. They did a good job. It's a lot of practical. There's knobs and stuff that they turn when they're on a spaceship and stuff like that. So it actually looks really good. Story-wise, this is probably one of the better, more well put together MCU movies in a while. This is probably the MCU movie that I've enjoyed the most in a while. Maybe not as well. Deadpool and Wolverine was one of my favorite movies last year, but that's just fun. And it's, even though it was MCU, it really didn't have a lot to do with what's going on in the MCU now. Actually, this movie didn't have a lot to do with what's going on in the MCU right now either. It's kind of a setup, you know. Essentially, it's a setup for Avengers Doomsday. But the good is, like I said, the story. This is probably one of the better stories they've had in a while. I enjoyed it throughout. Nothing I would say that I think would be like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. I like the tone that they took. They didn't go with that, you know, slapstick, funny, you know, thing that worked in Guardians of the Galaxy that they then went on to put in just about every other MCU movies. You know, the funny, they try to push that and make all these movies that type of movie. It worked for Guardians of the Galaxy. It did not work for the rest of the MCU when they try to do Thor that way. You know, the last couple Thor movies, you know, it didn't work. It worked for Guardians of the Galaxy, not for anything else. This movie's not doing that, so I do like that about this. I like the tone that they set. Casting is actually pretty good. It's very, I would say it's excellent. My biggest drawback in this movie, I think, would be Pedro Pascal, who I actually don't mind as an actor. I think he's a pretty good actor. He's been in things that I like. I like, you know, his work. I don't see him as Reed Richards. I don't buy him as the smartest man in the world. He's the only part of this casting that I really did. He did what he could with what was given, and you know, he got cast in it. Whatever, it is what it is. But that, I think he was the weakest part of the casting. You know, Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby was great. Bacharach as Thing was great, and actually the Thing looked. The effects were actually pretty good. The thing I didn't like was the Silver Surfer. I thought she still looked a little too fake. She looked a little too CGI. I think they did a great job with the Thing. Not so much with the Silver Surfer. Even Galactus, actually, they did a pretty good job with him special effects wise. The weakest part of the special effects was the Silver Surfer. She looked too CGI, I guess, maybe is how I would put it. But anyways, overall, it was a very enjoyable movie. It's set up, not really set up, but you know, if you stay through the credits, see the end credit scene, that, you know, that's what sets up what's to come. Another thing I did like about this movie, it's not a cameo fest. It's actually, I don't even think there was one single cameo. Um, the cast was more tight knit than, you know, I haven't seen Superman yet. I still want to watch it, but I guess that, you know, that's cameos galore, you know, all kinds of stuff going on. This movie did not seem haphazard. It seemed like it was put together, well put together, cohesively. So, anyways, yeah, I did like it. Johnny Storm, good job. I like the actor that they picked for Johnny Storm. And that's it. This was probably the best MCU movie, saying without including Deadpool, which is technically, I still kind of put that a little to the side. But anyways, this is probably my favorite MCU movie, probably in the 5 years, maybe. And hopefully this is kind of some. Hopefully they will go more towards this type, you know, where they don't make it all this funny James Gunn style thing that they try to do with the other movies. Hopefully they'll stop doing that. Hopefully they'll bring a little more serious tone to the next Avengers movie. I don't even know what's coming up next in the MCU. I don't know what movie's next, but anyways, that's it. My review: 0 beers being the best, 12 beers being the worst. I'll probably give this one. Let's see. I'll say a 4 beer score. Enjoyed it. If I would have had a few beers while I was watching this movie, I probably would have enjoyed it a little more. So anyways, that's all I got for today. Fantastic Four, do recommend. 4 beers out of 12 that I need to enjoy this more. So anyways, it's better than average, but not to the heights of some other MCU movies. Anyways, that's all I got for today. That's my review here for Fantastic Four First Steps. Until the next time, Nerd Jason out.